Welcome to a PubShedsTV review of the Davis WeatherLink Live. This has been provided for review by davisinstruments.com. So the WeatherLink Live is a way of remotely accessing existing Davis weather stations, and this uploads the data to the WeatherLink website, which you can then monitor via a mobile phone, tablet or indeed computer. So you might remember that we reviewed the Vantage View weather station not so long ago, and we also have the Vantage Pro 2, which is the next model up, which we'll be looking at in the coming days. So the WeatherLink Live is a really interesting piece of kit. We're going to break down the review into a couple of sections. Firstly, the unboxing, secondly, the functionality and specification, and thirdly, we're going to show you the interface with using the WeatherLink Live on your tablet. So firstly, let's give the packaging a mention. Really nicely displayed, already giving you some ideas about how you can use the WeatherLink Live and some of the functionality of it as well. So you get the user manual. If we open up the packaging further, then inside is included as well, in case connectivity is tricky. There is also a cable required there to connect it to your router. So that's all included within the packaging. Very neat, very snugly connected there. You also have a power lead as well. Now this can run for roughly 5 days on 4 AA batteries, but obviously mains powered is the best way there, and the batteries are there for a backup. So the unit itself is really unobtrusive and will fit snugly near to your existing weather hardware, or indeed tucked away somewhere out of sight should you prefer. It's a lovely black finish there, sort of matte black plastic. And if we turn the unit round, you can see there's the port for the Ethernet cable there at the bottom, and if we spin it around further, then it's just mostly plain on this side. Battery compartment is underneath, that unclips quite easily to put your 4 AA batteries inside. And on the unit itself, you might notice that there is a blinking blue LED light there. That is to show that it is connecting to the WeatherLink cloud. You also have a capacitive touchpad here, which is great for trying to reconnect should that light go out, which it will do after a certain period of time. Now, built into this unit, you also have an onboard barometer, humidity sensor, and temperature sensor. So that internal data can then be pushed directly to the cloud. If you have this in your outbuilding, then it will be able to monitor that remotely, and you can then access that data on your mobile device. So this data hub has the following main features. It's able to stream live data directly to the internet, which means you don't really have to have any of the consoles anymore. Now, I really like the consoles, so I'm keeping those as well, so we can have them dotted around the house just to keep an eye on the conditions outside. It reckons it can connect up to 80 sensors, and it has a range of approximately 300 meters or 1,000 feet. It has the sensors we mentioned integrated inside for barometric pressure, humidity and internal temperature as well. And interestingly, this will work with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant, and we'll show you that in operation later on in this review. So, to enable the unit to communicate with the external sensors and then upload that data, you need to do 2 things. Firstly, you need to install the WeatherLink app to your mobile device. Secondly, you need to create your WeatherLink account, and that's really straightforward and quick to do. Then it's a case of adding this particular hub to your account so that it registers that and can communicate with it. Now the WeatherLink app itself then walks you through the powering up and connection of the device step by step, so that was really quite easy for us to do. Essentially, if the device itself does not find your Wi-Fi network first of all, then you also have the addition of the Ethernet cable, which you can directly connect up to your router should that be necessary. Once that's all connected, then it's a case of setting up your WeatherLink Live so that it will be able to upload from your sensors. So for that to happen, you then need to create a name or a profile name there for your particular weather station, and then you can add the station and sensors on the following screen beyond that as well. Now, one of the features I particularly like about the software is the ability to add several other stations from nearby, should you wish to monitor those as well. And that's really helpful for validating your data to make sure that everything is recording as it should be and that you've set everything up properly. So as you can see here, we've got 4 other local stations, as well as our, well, including our own. And then the 5th one currently has not been updating for a little while, so that one isn't showing any current data at the moment. If I go ahead and click on the PubSheds weather one here, then it really quickly loads up all of the current live data, and we'll talk you through that separately. So adding a station is really easy to do. You simply hit the plus button at the top here, and it comes up with a list of lots of stations in your local area. And straight away you can see down the side here you've got some data being displayed, which is quite nice. A quick glance comparison there compared with your own weather data. So let's go ahead and add one. So this is the Railway Hill Vineyards. Let's add that on. And so instantly it comes up with the data display page for that particular weather station. So we want to hit the favourite button there at the top right, and that has now saved the station to our list. So if we go back again once more, we should see now that indeed the Railway Hill Vineyard has been added to our list of weather stations. Now, the archive rate is something that a lot of you may be interested in, and this is the rate at which the data is stored on the WeatherLink cloud. So it does not affect the update rate for the current conditions, but the default setting for the WeatherLink Live's archive rate is 15 minutes. Now that can be changed to 1 or 5 minutes, but to do that you will need to purchase the annual device upgrade subscription. So the app itself I found very intuitive to use, and I think it has a quite nice pleasing interface as well. So in terms of the boxes it is split up into, first of all you'll notice at the top it tells you when it was last updated with some data from your stations. Now we're using the Vantage View and the Vantage Pro 2 stations, so we're able to switch between the two. And then we have the live temperature up here. So this is currently 12 degrees C, as well as the feels like value as well, so if there's any wind chill or heat index applied. And then we have the highs and lows for the day at the top. Then there's a little bit of information about local weather. We have the humidity value, the rainfall over 24 hours, pressure reading, wind speed and direction, information on sunrise and sunset as well. The next box down is all about the forecast there, so you can have that 7-day forecast or hourly for the day that you're on. Scrolling further down again, we come to the temperature and humidity section. So this will tell you the temperature outside, the humidity outside, and then the calculated dew points and wet bulb temperatures too. These two values are for the inside temperature and humidity sensors, which we said earlier are actually built into this module. And we've got the feels like values as well for the indexes along the bottom, as well as wind chill. Now the graph itself, this is for the temperature graph, and it will display historical data by scrolling along. That's a nice feature I discovered by accident, but yeah, that is quite useful obviously to be able to track that over time. Then we have rainfall panel, which is current day, 24 hour. We've got the monthly totals and the year as of January. Well, we haven't owned this for that long clearly, so it's quite low at the moment for us. Then we've got the current rate of rainfall and the last rainstorm event and totals for that. And similarly underneath, if you scroll down, we have the rainfall graph as well, which you can again scroll historically. The next panel is to do with the wind speed and direction. So we have the 10-minute average at the top left and the wind gust, top wind gust in the last 10 minutes displayed. And we have the direction rows as well with the compass points there. And obviously we have 0 miles per hour currently, so there's no direction showing. If we scroll up again, you can see that the wind speed also graphs nicely historically, and you have the average and the gust speeds plotted on that graph. Barometric pressure with the trend there as well. And again, similarly with the graph, able to scroll along for barometric pressure history. And at the bottom, this is a nice feature as well. You can display the records from your current station that is being logged, and if you scroll along, you can see the temperature records, the rainfall records, and the top wind speed records as well for the day. And at the very bottom here, you can then scroll between making that yearly, or you can select individual months, and it will also display the records for those months. So overall, I really like the feature of this this particular software, this app. A really nice interface, really simple to use. I think one thing which I haven't been able to do is when you rotate the screen, it doesn't auto fit into landscape mode there, but that's a minor detail really. Overall, it's a really nice piece of software. So we mentioned earlier about connectivity with Amazon Alexa and Google Assistant. So we're going to demonstrate this in use with the Amazon Alexa since we own that. So the first thing to do is to say, Alexa, open WeatherLink.
Welcome to WeatherLink. You can say, get the current conditions followed by the name of the weather station you would like to hear about.
Get the current conditions, PubSheds weather.
Currently, at PubSheds weather it is 9 degrees Celsius outside and 24 degrees Celsius inside. The wind is calm. It has rained 0.5 millimeters since midnight. The barometric pressure is 985 millibars and rising slowly. The humidity is 92% outside and 58% inside.
So I think that's a really nice feature of the WeatherLink Live. So in summary, we have been really impressed in the relatively short space of time that we have been using the WeatherLink Live for. It truly has made monitoring the conditions for our outbuilding really easy, and certainly able to do that anywhere in the world technically. So that's a really nice feature and a particularly good selling point for this device. So just to summarise some of our overall findings, real positives, real strengths of this are that the interface with the app was fantastic, really clean, really easy to navigate. Setting up the station was extremely easy and quick for us. The fact that you can monitor multiple weather station ISS units, that's the external sensor units there, is really quite attractive too. It's in a short space of time we've been using it for, it's proved itself to be extremely reliable, including through 2 power outages. The fact that you don't really technically have to purchase consoles anymore as well, and you can make do with this device and the external sensors, makes that a really attractive and viable option, particularly for us. Now on to the actual subscription side of things. So the software that we've been looking at, that's the free version of the cloud there, as it were, but you can actually upgrade to a professional version, but that does come with a monthly fee as well, so that's something to consider. Now just a couple of points to consider as well is the initial cost of this is quite high, so it is definitely worth thinking seriously about before you purchase this, but as we say, part of that might be negated by the fact that you don't then need the consoles. We've also, as we mentioned, the Pro subscription there does make it a little bit more expensive if you want the extra functionality of the software there, but that does come with its own benefits as well. And the minor issue of not being able to rotate the screen there on our tablet so that we could view it horizontally, but that really is quite a minor thing. So overall, we really recommend this. Thanks for joining us. This has been a PubShedsTV review of the Davis WeatherLink Live, kindly provided for review by davisinstruments.com. So please remember to hit the subscribe button to PubShedsTV to stay updated with the latest PubSheds videos. And remember to hit the notification bell icon. Now in the next couple of weeks we will be reviewing the Davis Vantage Pro 2 instrument unit, and we will be looking at how the Vantage View can also be used simultaneously with the WeatherLink Live. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.